on the Penguin Rundown. Welcome back to the Penguin Rundown. I'm Monica Kurjan alongside Abigail Cloutier. Abigail, softball has just been unstoppable lately.
I know, they've had a great weekend.
Everyone really just needs to get out there and go see a game next time that they're home because they're really, really fun to watch. But I think you're going to get us started with some tennis.
Yep. The women's tennis team fell 6-1 to Cleveland State on Saturday, dropping 4-14 overall and 1-2 in the Horizon League this season. But there were bright spots, with freshman Elvira Esteo and Lucia Zager earning a 7-5 win in doubles play, and junior Lisa Kamasi earning a team win at number 2 in singles. The team will rally again when they host Detroit Mercy in Streetsboro, Ohio on Saturday. The men's team also suffered in a 4-3 defeat against Cleveland State, but won 2 singles matches and the doubles point. The loss placed the Penguins at 8-7 overall and 1-1 in the Horizon League. The men's team returns April 12th when they face off against Northern Kentucky.
The bowling team is looking forward to 3 new recruits joining the squad in the 2019-2020 season. 2 high school seniors, Megan Grams and Alicia Yacono, have signed their letters of intent to attend YSU and participate on the team. Freshman transfer from St. Francis University, Emma Wren, is also hoping to contribute her skills to the team. Grams, a native from Michigan City, Indiana, was chosen 4 times for the All-Conference honoree and a 3-time pick for the All-Northwest Region bowling team. Yacono is a graduate from Massillon-Jackson High School and was named to the All-Ohio First Team, as well as being named Federal League Bowler of the Year 2 years in a row. Emma Wren was named MVP of the NEC tournament and named Freshman Female Athlete of the Year at St. Francis. With the addition of these 3 great new recruits and a majority of the same team as the previous season still working hard, the Gwins are sure to have a successful 2019-2020 season.
The track and field team began their outdoor season this past weekend at 3 different events. Chad Zallo and Jalea Elliott ran the Clyde Littlefield Texas Relays. Zallo finished 5th in the 110-meter hurdles with a time of 13 seconds. Jalea Elliott competed in the 100-meter dash and crossed the line in 8th place with a time of 10.91 seconds. A majority of the team competed in the Raleigh Relays in North Carolina. Leading the way in the field events was Jake Wilson in the javelin. He finished 4th, reaching a mark of 62.43 on his second throw of the day. The last part of the team ran in the Texas State Bobcat Invitational. Sarita Henderson led the way with the 6th place in the 200-meter dash to round out the day for the Gwins. This coming weekend, the team will compete in the Northeast Ohio Quad. YSU will host day 1 of the meet, while day 2 will take place at the Lee R. Jackson Track and Field Complex in Akron.
We'll return to action this week after a short break. The women's team will travel to Hudson, Ohio to compete in the JCU Invitational hosted by John Carroll on April 6th. Chipping over to the men's team, they will compete in Graysonville, Maryland in the Towson Spring Invitational on April 6th as well. For stats and highlights on the men's and women's teams, visit ysusports.com.
The football team has just ended their spring training for 2019. They had their final workout practice on Saturday. The workout was a scrimmage in which the offense would find the end zone 5 times and the defense would break up 3 passes with 6 sacks. Potential standout quarterback and true freshman Mark Wade would end his first spring training on a high note with a 65-yard touchdown pass to Jake Coates. We look forward to seeing the finished product on the field this fall. For more on the football team's spring practices, we send it over to the roundtable with Matt Ganser and Richie Giuliano are standing by.
Hello everybody, welcome to the roundtable. I'm Richie Giuliano alongside Matt Ganser. Matt, the football team just ended their month-long spring practice. You know, they got some holes to fill this year. They're losing starters like Tevin McCaster, Montgomery Van Gorder, and Gavin Wiggins. But they just did finish, you know, their end of their spring practice with the scrimmage, and I heard it was pretty good. And Matt, you're going to give us some insight on that last spring scrimmage.
Yes, Richard. The key for the Gwins this year is to not focus on what they have lost, who they have lost. Obviously, they've lost some great players, but there's still a lot of potential here in this offense. In the spring scrimmage, the offense amounted to 5 touchdowns. Guy who really shined is sophomore quarterback Joe Craycraft. Craycraft had 2 touchdowns. One of them was on the ground and threw another 17-yard strike. Guy I'm really watching out for, another quarterback, is freshman Mark Wade. Wade, on his 3rd drive of the game, threw a 65-yard touchdown bomb. And keep in mind, this guy has a lot of potential to revitalize this offense. In high school, he threw for over 11,000 yards and 118 touchdown passes. Both of those are top 10 all-time in the state of Ohio.
Yeah, you just mentioned Mark Wade, another quarterback prospect, but you can't forget about Nathan Mays, the returning quarterback, 5th-year senior. He played in 4 games as a junior, 8 games as a sophomore, and his sophomore year he did throw for 905 yards and 4 touchdowns. And this is a guy, who's been very experienced for Youngstown State. He played at North Dakota State last year when they played him, and we know that's one of the biggest, games of the year for Youngstown State. So this guy's very experienced in this offensive setup for Youngstown State.
Yes, and don't forget, the Penguins almost won that North Dakota State game. That was a great performance by Mays. Also, look at the running backs. Christian Turner's running back, who hopefully can fulfill those large shoes that Tevin McCaster left. He's a junior, so Turner played behind McCaster for 2 years. Also, what makes him dynamic is he had 24 receptions last year. He can catch the ball and make some guys miss out in the backfield.
Yeah, like you said, he had 24 receptions for 196 yards. And if you put Turner in there in the slot, that allows for senior running back Joe Alessi to come in here and get some, yards on the ground, get some experience, because he's been waiting for that his whole career here. But also, we just talked about the offensive side of the ball. Let's go to the defensive side. They are losing some key defenders as well. Armand Delavade, the linebacker, Savon Smith, and Crispin Lee, the free safety. But they do have an experienced defensive line. I know they got Sheriff Bynum, who started all 11 games last year. He was 2nd in sacks on the team. Wesley Thompson's also started 10 games. So they do have some returners on the defensive side who have experience and who are able to produce for this Youngstown State football team.
Again, same thing with the defense. You cannot focus on who you've lost. This team still has a lot of potential. In that scrimmage, they had 6 sacks and 3 pass deflections. And also what's great about the defense is that the defensive line, the trenches, is where you want to build your defense up from. And having experience there can help. The Gwins brought in numerous high-level recruits for this defense, so hopefully these guys can learn and adjust to being a Youngstown State Penguin.
Yeah, they do have a lot of key guys this year, and I think that's going to wrap it up here at the roundtable. I'm Richie Giuliano alongside Matt Ganser. Back to you guys.
Matt. Over the weekend, the baseball team traveled to Dayton, Ohio to take on the Raiders of Wright State in a 3-game series. The Raiders took Game 1 on Friday by a final score of 7-1, and the 3rd game on Sunday, 18-8. However, the Gwins would salvage Game 2 on Saturday. A 4-run 3rd inning and a 5-run 4th inning catapulted YSU to a 10-8 victory. Jeff Whaler had himself a day. The sophomore went 2 for 4 on the day with a double, 2 runs scored, and recorded 3 RBIs. Whaler also swiped 4 stolen bases in Saturday's game, becoming just the 3rd player in YSU history to steal at least 4 bases in a game. With those stolen bases, Jeff Whaler now ranks tied for 7th all-time in school history with 39 in his collegiate career. We had the chance to catch up with Whaler, Dickerson, and DeFalco earlier this week, and here's what they had to say.
So a couple big wins for you guys over the last week over Pitt and then Wright State. Is there momentum building heading into this weekend?
Oh, absolutely. Those are 2 good teams that we faced. Not many times have we beat them in the past. I think we might have not beat Wright State over the past couple of years, and then obviously Pitt, I don't think we beat them at all lately. So just to have the confidence of beating 2 big teams like that, it's definitely helping us out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of excitement. I mean, we got 4 straight home games here, so it's nice to stay off a bus a little bit, sleep in our own beds, and I think that'll really help us going into the weekend. We got a lot of momentum, especially getting that 1 win last weekend. I think our bats are coming around real well, and as a staff, we're really starting to really set into our roles, and I think it'll be a big weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as you guys can see, our bats are coming alive. Our pitching's it's getting there as well, so I expect a big week out of us this week, so it's exciting.
So what's the atmosphere like in the clubhouse right now?
Atmosphere is really confident. I mean, like we just talked about Wright State and Pitt, that's just a big boost for the guys. Playing good baseball against teams like that just is kind of a confidence booster, and it's just going to keep us going throughout this weekend.
It's been great. I mean, like few people said, I mean, you can tell you don't really know for 0-20, 4-20, or 20-0. You wouldn't be able to tell walking into the locker room. I mean, the atmosphere is great. Everybody's positive vibes, and just every day when we come into practice or game, we're ready to go and get the next one.
We're good. I mean, everyone's still thinking positive. We're just looking forward to the end of the year, Horizon League tournament.
and that's what we're working for. So whatever happens until then is kind of white noise, and we just got to keep moving forward.
Thank you, Christina. The team returned home to host Kent State yesterday at Eastwood Field. Check out YSUsports.com for stats and scores. They will then welcome in another Horizon League opponent this weekend as they will battle the UIC Flames in a 3-game series Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can tune in to watch those games on ysnlive.com/YSU Baseball. They will then hit the road and travel to Happy Valley to play Penn State for a 1-game matchup next Tuesday.
Softball picks up their 9th straight after a 6-3 win over IUPUI. Originally scheduled to play 3 games over the weekend, weather took a toll, canceling 2 of the 3 games. Despite the cold, the Penguins crushed 4 home runs in this win. Those bombs came from Elizabeth Berthbeck, Grace Sia, and Maddie Lusk with 2. Monica had the chance to catch up with Sia and Lusk to talk about their performances.
When I got up, I looked around the bases and I saw people on base, but when I get up with runners on, I usually don't try to focus on that because you don't really look for your pitch, you don't think about what your job is and stuff like that. So it's always in the back of my mind that there are runners on base, but mainly when I go up there, I'm just looking for my pitch and trying to put a good swing on it.
How does the team deal with the constant game changes and delays due to the weather?
It hasn't been too bad this season yet. We only changed the game once or twice, and that was with IUPUI, but so far the weather's been great and we've gotten out on the field tons of times and we've been able to get tons of games in. And I think it's a little bit tough, especially when you have to change your schedule and you have to get ready and you have to pack and stuff like that. The game changes, that kind of makes it tough, but it's also nice because you don't have to miss class and you can make up stuff, and it's not too bad. It's just something that comes with the game.
The only delay and cancellation we've had is IUPUI, which is this past weekend. It's kind of hard because we kind of just sit around at the hotel and have to don't really know what's going on, but we just have to stay positive and just be ready when we're told when the game's on and when it's off.
How does it feel to be named Horizon League Softball Player of the Week?
It feels good. It's a great honor, but I'm never satisfied. Always can do more.
You've played most of your games at first base this season, but you've also had a save in the circle. How do you balance those 2 roles?
It's hard at times. You just have to keep a clear mind and just be ready when I'm called on.
Thanks, Monica. Addie Jarvis picked up her 8th win in the circle with 9 strikeouts. Jarvis' strong performance earned her the Horizon League Softball Pitcher of the Week. Sweeping the honors as a whole, Lusk also picked up the Horizon League Softball Player of the Week. Last night, the women played at Niagara for a doubleheader. Check out YSUsports.com for the final and stats. Next for the Gwins is a 3-game series at Detroit Mercy this weekend with game 1 at 4 and 2 games on Saturday at 12 and 2. Then the team heads to Robert Morris on Wednesday, the last doubleheader of this road trip. Best of luck to the softball team in their next couple games.
The volleyball team has announced this year's edition of their spring tournament. Starting Saturday, the Penguins will host 9 teams at Stambaugh Stadium, each team playing in 6 matches. Notable teams coming to campus include the Akron Zips, Cleveland State Vikings, and the Robert Morris Colonials. Be sure to head out to Stambaugh Stadium for your first look at the 2019 volleyball squad. It is now time for Penguin Performance of the Week. Abigail, we've had a lot of good candidates. What do you think it's going to be?
I don't know. Softball's been doing really well. It might be one of them.
I guess we'll just have to send it over to Chris Colella and see what he has for us. Chris?
Thanks, guys. I'm Chris Colella with your Penguin Performances of the Week. First, we've got Maddie Lusk, who is named the Horizon League Nike Player of the Week. She had a .471 batting average, went 8 for 17, including a double, 4 runs scored, 3 home runs, and 5 RBIs to her credit. Then it was Addie Jarvis named the Nike Pitcher of the Week. She went 3-0 last week with 3 complete games, a 1.33 ERA, and 30 strikeouts in 21 innings pitched. Great job by the YSU softball team. Abigail, Monica, back over to you.
Thank you again, Chris. That'll just about do it for us here at the Penguin Rundown. For news, highlights, and more, visit YSUsports.com. And be sure to follow us on all of our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat at Penguin Rundown 1. I'm Monica Kurjan.
And I'm Abigail Cloutier.
See you next week, Penguin Nation.